Hey guys, Steve Cherry here. Welcome to my World Cup blog. I'll be doing this video blog over the course of the World Cup. Let's start with a preview episode of Group A. Who's in Group A? Brazil, Cameroon, Croatia, and Mexico. Let's review Brazil. The Seleção. They are the host nation and 5-time champions. Their head coach for this World Cup will be Luis Felipe Scolari, the same coach that led them to glory in 2002 at the World Cup. They have participated in every single World Cup since 1930 at the inaugural tournament in Uruguay. 64 years ago was the last time they hosted the tournament, and they lost in devastating fashion late in the game to Uruguay. Key players: Neymar. He's their main man up front. He's a winger that's interchangeable, both left and right. He'll be playing alongside Hulk and Fred on that front line, trying to score as many goals for Brazil as possible, which I think they'll score quite a bit. Thiago Silva, their captain and central back defender. He is one of the most important players on this team, which was proven at the last year's Confederation Cup in Brazil. He helped lead them to victory in that tournament with wins over teams like Italy, Spain, and Uruguay. So then Julio Cesar, their goalkeeper. He plays for Toronto FC now in the MLS. He is going to be a very pivotal point of this side because he is the keeper and the most experienced player on the team. So let's move on. Cameroon, the Indomitable Lions. Their head coach is Volker Fink, a German who's getting his first opportunity to coach an international side. Their deepest run in the tournament came in 1990. They made it all the way to the quarterfinal. Roger Milla became a star at that World Cup, scoring 4 goals. In 1994, Roger Milla went on to become the oldest player at 42 years of age to score a goal at a World Cup. This will be their 7th World Cup appearance at the finals. The key players for Cameroon are Samuel Eto'o. He will be the guy calling the shots. Up front, he's going to be their main target to score a lot of goals. Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting. Not only does this kid have the best name out of anybody in the whole tournament, he has a lot of upside and potential. He's had an incredible qualifying campaign, and I believe he'll have a great opportunity to become a star on the world stage at this World Cup. Joel Matip. He is a defensive midfielder who plays for Schalke in Germany. He's only 22 years old. A lot of people don't know about him, but I do believe that this is his biggest opportunity so far to really prove that he has the abilities that he can show on this stage. So, Croatia, the Blazers. Head coach Niko Kovac. He's Croatian and a former player of the Croatian national team. He first coached the under-21 Croatian team and then became the head coach of the senior men's national team at the end of 2013. Their World Cup experience is very limited. They've only been twice, in 2002 and 2006. They failed to advance from the group stage in both of those appearances. So they're key players for this World Cup. Ivan Rakitic, a midfielder from Sevilla. He just came off a huge season winning the Europa League with his side and is high in demand throughout Europe. Luka Modric, a really big star for this squad. He plays for Real Madrid in a midfield role, and he comes on usually late in games and has a great impact. He showed that in the Champions League final this past season. And Mario Mandzukic, who is their main striker. He plays for Bayern Munich in Germany and will probably be moving on because Robert Lewandowski is going to the side, but he is a fantastic striker. But he did get a red card in the last qualifying game against Iceland, so he will be missing the first game against Brazil, which will, I believe, come back to haunt Croatia. So, the final team of the group, Mexico, El Tri. The head coach, Miguel Herrera. He was the 4th coach announced during qualifying. They struggled throughout that campaign. They had to finish in 4th place in CONCACAF and play a playoff against New Zealand. They won that on aggregate 9-3, but it was still, making a lot of people skeptical that they even were there in a playoff. So their deepest run were in the quarterfinals in 1970 and 1986. They hosted both of those tournaments. This is their 15th their 15th finals appearance in the World Cup. Their key players this summer will be Javier Chicharito Hernandez. He will be one of their main strikers throughout this tournament, and he will have to play a major role in getting them out of the group stage. But he has been struggling lately, so I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to do that. So, Andres Guardado. He plays for Valencia in Spain and played a major role for Mexico in the 2010 World Cup. Oribe Peralta, the Brush. He plays for Santos Laguna in Mexico and is a favorite of Herrera. He scored quite a bit of goals over the last year to help Mexico get through the qualification phase. So, my biggest questions about Mexico, though, are still their defense. Rafael Marquez is 35 when the World Cup begins. Is he too old to be able to contain the likes of players Neymar, Mandzukic, Eto'o? These guys might be able to just breeze by this Mexican defense, but we'll have to wait and see for that. So, the games are in this order. Brazil will start their campaign against Croatia on June 12th in the opening game of the World Cup. Then Cameroon will play Mexico June 13th. Brazil will continue by playing Mexico on June 17th, and Cameroon will play Croatia June 18th. Brazil and Cameroon, as well as Croatia versus Mexico, will both take place as the final group stage games on June 23rd. In my opinion, the breakout star of the group will be Oscar, a central attacking midfielder for Brazil. He plays for Chelsea in London for the Barclays Premier League and has had a pretty good season under Mourinho. I think he's going to really step into a new role and become a superstar after this World Cup. So, the biggest dud of the group. Who's the player that's expected to be a star who will just bomb? I hate to say it, Mexico, but I think it's going to be Chicharito. I don't see him picking up form, especially after having such a terrifying qualifying campaign and then not doing that well in the friendlies leading up to the World Cup. So this has been my Group A preview. I'm Stephen Cherry. Thanks for watching, and tune in later for Group B.